Greetings, good people, fellow humans. Today is Friday, February 20th, 2026. Wow, this month is almost over. Lots of stuff to do. Today is also day 5 in week 4 of our neuroscience-oriented approach to success. Day 5, week 4. So this is coming to the end. We've got today, tomorrow, and Sunday. And then Monday, we start over again, back to day 1, week 1. But this is day 5 in week 4. We're finishing up leadership, getting other people to do what you want. And this is pragmatic leadership. And we're following somebody who did more good for the world than most people, Ignatius of Loyola. But the main thing is not about him. It's if he could do that, we could do something. Manicus von Atticus is back after almost a week of not being here. Glad that you are here. Glad that you are here, Manicus von Atticus. I'm riding in on a green field with sun on my face, but I'm not troubled because you are in Alicia. And you're already dead. Okay, so what do we have on our grade today? Day 5, week 4, coming to an end, pulling it together. It's not how do we get other people to do what we want, it's keeping moving forward. And that's a thing you can say about Ignatius, that a lone nut, because that's what he was, gets his first followers. They pull in more followers. And then it's kind of like, hey, this is cool. I want to be part of it too. And then it spread and grew, and they offered good things to people. And of course, they had haters and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But what else do we have on our hit parade? So today is Friday. Lots to do today. Don't give up. And let's see our Themo-Memo. Themo-Memo. The utility of being a monster. Monster. So Manicus von Atticus, would you say you're a monster? Would you say you are a monster? Maybe. Well, according to Jordan Peterson, we are all monsters. Humans are monsters because all of the really bad things that have happened in the world have been done by people. And we could do it equally. We could be a guard at Auschwitz. We could do that. We have that within us. But we don't act out on it, which is the good thing. Let's see, there's something. Let's get a temperature check. Temperature check. Oops, not that. Not time check. Ooh, holy magoli. It's 28 degrees outside. 28 and clear. Well, it's a good thing it's 28 and clear. I don't see any snow. Few clouds, high in the upper 40s and low in the 30s. If this was like yesterday, we would have had snow. And there was a lot of snow happening yesterday. So no snow. It doesn't take much to turn normal people into genocidal a genocidal force. Well, I think it actually does because it doesn't happen that often. But it's possible. Not easy, but possible. Haven't been many genocides in the history of the last 2,000 years. Maybe you can name 10, perhaps fewer. But anyway, that's digressing from the point. So the point is we are a monster, and the key is to be like samurai, that we're dangerous. We have the capacity to be very dangerous, but we control it. We control our emotions, etc. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Advice from an 80-year-old. Advice from an 80-year-old. Become the most positive and enthusiastic person you know. Right. Now, would that pass the categorical imperative test? If everybody wanted to do that, I think so. Cool. Let's see if I can find something quickly. Beep, bop, or rebop. Looking for a video I watched. Yep, here we go. I'm turning off the volume. Dr. Roman Yaplowski. Roman Yaplowski. I suggest everybody watch a video. Be prepared to be scared. Be prepared to be scared. Dr. Roman Yaplowski. Roman Yampolsky. So I saw a video, the real reason only 5 jobs will exist in 24 months, the diary of a CEO. So he's talking about what is going to happen. This is actually very serious stuff. What's going to happen when AGI can do more for people? What's going to happen when it can do more than we can do when we don't know? Things are changing so fast we can't keep up. What is going to happen? So he's saying there will be 99% unemployment. And really the only jobs that'll exist are jobs where people who have money would prefer to have a human do it. Not because the human's better, they just prefer it. Old school. I actually think there's going to be a huge opportunity, and that's for places to go and things that start up where people say, you know what, we just want to go back to what life was like pre-technology. And it could be for a 2-week vacation, just going to a place where there's no pre-cell phone era. Pre-cell phone era. Where people have to do things by hand. Now, also, I saw yesterday that Elon Musk announced the release of a $30,000 cyber cab taxi. You can buy it for $30,000, which, if it's true, by this time next year, there'll probably be 10 of them in Pahrump, maybe 20 in Pahrump. And you won't need a car. If you can buy a taxi for $30,000 and your cost is $1,000 a month, And they can go basically 24 hours a day doing whatever you need, taking you places, picking things up. You can send the taxi to Walmart to pick up your order, right? Because the Walmart people will put it in the car. The car will go to Walmart, get your stuff, and bring it to you. So on the one hand, that's going to wipe things out. And depending upon what the cost per trip is, it could be cheaper for most people to get rid of their cars. Have to do research on that. Hold on. Tell me about Elon Musk's cyber taxi. You saw it here first, folks. Cybercab. So I'm using Perplexity to get the answer to that. Tesla Cybercab is Tesla's fully autonomous two-seat electric vehicle with no steering wheel or pedals, designed to operate as both a personal car and robo-taxi. Here's everything you need to know as of February 2026. Cybercab is Tesla's first purpose-built autonomous vehicle. Production status. The first rolled off the production line at Gigafactory, Texas on February 17, 2026, 3 days ago. Continuous mass production isn't expected to begin until April 2026. Early output will be agonizingly slow. Sell for under $30,000. That's going to change everything. The Cybercab is going to change everything. Okay, people, take your money, buy Tesla. Put in an order for a Cybercab. Do it. Don't wait, don't think, do it. And when that happens, now we have the ability to go back to a pre-tech time, like in the 70s. 50 years ago. Go back to what it was like 50 years ago. I remember it like yesterday. Also, if you have friends who are interested, I have one word for you. Dominica. Places like that, I think, will become havens for people who really want to get away and don't want other people coming after them. Because if it gets really bad and you're on some island in the Caribbean, you're going to be able to make it a lot longer than people on the mainland. So I wouldn't want to be in Costa Rica when the lights go out and the imports stop coming in and people have to live off the land, because you're back to having villains just taking what you've got. If you're on an island, the only people who can reach you are the people who have the technology to get to the island. But it's got to be big enough to have an atmosphere. Got to have rain. Got to have vegetation. Got to have fresh water. Got to have that stuff. Good to have an ocean around so you can get food as well. Anyway, we digress. So today's point, okay, let's see what else we got. Oh, Seth Godin. Hide competitive stats. I've been playing an online word game for a few months, and after each round, it shows me how well I'm doing against the 10,000 other people who are also playing. Sounds like Wordle. It didn't take long for me to realize that the stats weren't improving my mood. A really good play had me ranking 398, and the competition was also turning into a habit. Once I found the hide button, everything got better. Sometimes the competitive stats aren't there to help you. They're there to support the system and the people who run it. Right. Good point. Excellent. Let's see what else we got here. Ryan Holiday, Daily Stoic, talking about justice and empathy and stoicism. Okay, cool. That's good. Let's see. Matt says duck and cover. All right. Last night, week number 7 in restorative justice, having to read circle processes. Right. And finished reading. No, we didn't finish. We have one more chapter in this book. Had to read this whole book. Not that book. And had a speaker in, very good. She's got a consulting business for people doing charter schools. And yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's really not restorative justice. That's the vanilla word for equity, diversity, equity, inclusion. It's the word, the way I could describe it is, it's the kids who weren't good at sports changing the rules so they had to be included. It would be like in professional sports saying, okay, well, on every team you have to have a woman, this or that, a handicapped person. And instead of just focusing on being the best, we have to be inclusive of people who are not the best because we have to care about their feelings. And that is great. Except if the people don't want to play the game, it's what's his name? Noonien Singh? What was his in Star Trek? Who was the guy in Star Trek, Matt? That was the villain, that was the DNA enhanced guy. Not Noonien Singh. That was well, the person who was artificially built to be better than humans. What happens when those people get around mere mortals? Trekker. Like, Matt's not a trekker, and you know he's not a trekker because he says Trekkie. And the real, this is how crazy the Star Trek people are. The real people refer to themselves as trekkers, not Trekkies. Right. Anyway, changing the rules to be inclusive, having equity, fairness, only works if everybody agrees to play by those rules. It's like any other game. The game only works if people agree to play by the rules. If somebody comes along and says, I'm not playing by those rules, and you aren't either, because this is the game we're going to play, right? That's now the fourth law of power comes in. The Athenians against the people from Melos, right? Let's be reasonable. No, let's be realistic. Reality versus realism. No, reality versus fairness. And the problem is people who are here trying to get to there are not really interested in coming down to here and staying at this level. People who are explorers don't really want to be told, sorry, you can't go anywhere out in the frontier that somebody who's disabled can't go with you, physically or mentally disabled. You can't go anywhere beyond where they can go. Where you have the real adventurers who are like, no, I want to experience the limits of what I can do, not what of he can do. More on that later. We're out of time. Arrivederci, paisanos.